Hello, welcome to Clippers and Tippers, all thanks to Tyre Power for another week. We're joined by a one-time Bachelor of the Year, no longer a Bachelor, of course, Ryan Phelan. Hello to you, Ryan.
What about this? What a relaxing way to do an interview.
Yes.
Just getting, groomed and preened by Maury. Good on you, mate. How am I receding back there? Am I hanging on okay?
Great, man. Thank God you got married.
Now, you've lived an amazing life. You started off as a harness racing driver, and then how did you get the gig to get onto, I remember growing up, you're not that much older than me, so, but I remember growing up and watching you on Channel 10 News.
Yes.
Yep, Sports Tonight.
Yeah, so my pathway, Gareth, was, I always did work experience when I was a kid. I first and foremost wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
And then I realised I wasn't going to be an actor, and one of our family friends was a journalist for the Daily Mail newspaper in Queensland at the time. And so I did some work experience at the Courier Mail, the Daily Sun it was at the time. And I just then got an appetite for the written word, and I was good at English at school. And I thought, well, I'm going to be a journalist. And then when I was a harness racing driver, which I only did for a very short period of time, they had local television covering the harness racing at that time called Bris 31 up in Queensland. And I thought, well, you know what, this might be a good way for me to get some experience. And so I started interviewing some of the young people in racing as a segment on that particular program. I got a show reel together after the couple of years that I was doing that on Bris 31 on a VHS tape. I sent it to Graham McNeese, the great Graham McNeese at Sky Racing when they were launching Sky Racing onto the Foxtel platform.
Yep.
And myself and Joe McKinnon were the two new faces of Sky Racing at that time, joining John Tapp and Graham McNeese, two of the greats of racing. And that's how I got my way into the television space. And I was there at Sky Racing for 3 years, and I moved over to Channel 10 as a journalist, and quickly they put me on air as a presenter. And I was there for 8 years and had some great mentors over there, most importantly Matthew White, who for me probably shaped a lot of how I became as a presenter. And look, for me it was just such a wonderful time, and I feel so blessed to have been part of television during that period because it was just so different then. It was, Sports Tonight, for example, that was the only way you'd get your sports news,
100%.
Gareth. If you weren't reading it in the paper or listening to it on radio, you'd have to sit up at night to sit up and watch Sports Tonight after watching the news with Sandra Sully on Channel 10.
Yeah, Sandra Sully was a great, and she still is, of course, a legend of the news reading game. So, I used to watch you every weeknight. And then you were the Bachelor of the Year, so congratulations there. Who did you defeat that year?
Well, look, what was that Group 1 winner that...
Haylist?
No, it was Aberretti or something. Aberretti won from nowhere or something at a massive price. And so I've got some racing friends that call me the Aberretti of the Clio Bachelor of the Year because the field that I beat was a pretty vintage field that year, which I had no business winning, I've got to say. So this was in 2005. Look, probably the most notable that I beat was the great Chris Hemsworth.
There you go.
When he was on Home and Away at the time. So I don't normally like telling people that story because when I tell them that I won Clio Bachelor, their reaction is, you? So I try to live in the present, not the past.
You were 30-1 and you flushed down the outside.
Mate, 30-1's being generous. I think it had a couple of zeros behind it.
I love it. Now, so you went on to have a great TV career, but now you're working for HRV. You're sort of the face of harness racing now in this country. You work for Sky Racing, and you'll be heading the coverage Saturday night on Channel 7, Victoria Cup, which is like the Cox Plate of harness racing. So do you have a winner for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, harness racing, Gareth, is a love that's really never left me for the 30 years I've been in broadcast television.
Full circle in a way.
So I feel very privileged to be back amongst the industry and a lot of familiar faces. And, during that time when I was on network television, you were a large part of paving the way for me, people like me to come back and for the industry and the media side of things to be left in really great shape. So it's really fun to elevate the product as much as we can. I love harness racing. I love the people, and I believe it deserves to be seen in its best light. So, being the broadcast manager for HRV, it's great to not just be in front of the camera, but also behind and developing a lot of the IP and content ideas behind it really put together a great show. So hopefully people can tune into 7-2 this Saturday night.
What's the race?
It's
the Victoria Cup.
I wonder if my mate's got his horse.
Who?
Dominic.
Oh, he's
Do you know my Dominic Martello?
He's got a very good horse called Tracy the Jet in the Trotters Oaks later in the night.
He's a good man, Dom
can win the
Martello.
Group One.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, no.
He's got those hammers. I don't know.
Yes, yeah. He's always got some very good horses. So he's in one of the 5 Group Ones on Saturday nights.
He wins. That's my tip.
Yeah, well, she's favourite Tracy the Jet, and I think she will win.
Sorry, Dom. Maury's jinxed you. They're one of the greatest fillies of all time. It can't win now, Tracy the Jet.
We've got professionals tipping it now.
Don't do that to poor old Dom. Sorry. Right?
Yeah, so those 5 Group 1s will take place over the 7 races that we'll show on Channel 7 from 6 till 10, and then you'll see all racing on Sky Racing and also Trots Vision as well. So, look, we've got a great team. We've got Beck Madden from Channel 7 elevating the coverage for us. The great Mickey Guerin from New Zealand.
Yes.
Brittany Graham's over from New Zealand as well. Bronte Newenberg and Tim O'Connor.
Yeah.
The only way we couldn't make it the complete A-grade cast was you, but you didn't fit under the salary cap.
Murray. Couldn't get a gig.
Mate, we can't afford him, Maury. Look, he's now, travelling in different circles nowadays.
Before we get the $50 player right this Saturday, or you might have it on Saturday night, your best punting story before we let you go, because we always love a punting story here on Clippers and Tippers.
Oh, well, I've got. What do you want? Winning punting stories or losing punting stories?
Just the most entertaining punting story.
Okay, well, probably my best punting story was I probably won $75,000 over 3 Melbourne Cups of Makybe Diva. I just loved her as a horse, and in 3 Melbourne Cups in a row, I just stood her out in first 4s, and over those 3 years, collected $75,000 from doing so. So, yeah, I've given a lot of it back since then, Maury. I hate to say, but she was always a favourite of mine. But probably one of the funniest and saddest punting stories was, remember the Golden Slipper winner, Feeling Ready?
Yes.
Well, it was
named after you.
Trained by Jason McLaughlin at the time, who I knew back from my Queensland days. And I saw this horse, having its first start, Feeling Ready. I rang Jason. I said, mate, what's the story behind this Feeling Ready? Is this a horse I should be backing? Any sort of connection to the name? Jason, who talked like that, he always had the asking voice. He said, mate, I don't know, but I'll tell you, this is one of the best horses I've ever trained. Anyway, I backed it first up and second up, did no good. And then I went overseas and I thought, he's steered me into a bum horse here, Jason, with Feeling Ready. Then comes out and wins the Magic Millions on the Gold Coast at 100 to 1.
Yeah.
And you didn't back it?
Didn't back it. Did not have a cent on it. So that's probably my tragic punting story. And I backed... So he probably won 2-3 races in his entire career. Yeah. I backed him in probably 20 of them, and none of them were winners. So he should have been a good horse for me, but he wasn't.
He wasn't ready when you were.
No, exactly.
No. So $50 this week. I'll probably go Kingman to win the Victoria Cup.
You're a very loyal man.
Correct.
He's your man, McCarvey, the owner.
Yes, all up into. It's a tough meeting there on Saturday in both Sydney and Melbourne, but I love Pride of Jenny, so I'm going to have $25 on Pride of Jenny, and if she goes too hard, I'll have the other 25 on Char Wolf.
I think you're on the money there, G. So $50.
Yeah.
I like So Americano. Luke McCarthy, who drives Kingman, I think he can get the money earlier in the night in the Oaks. I think she can win. So Americano. You know what? Let's go all up into Dom's horse, Tracy the Jet.
That's it.
So
my tip, mate.
Let's do it. Let's do an all up. Soho Americano into Tracy the Jet on Saturday night.
All right, then. It's going to be a lot of fun. So you got on Channel 7, you'll have NSCN Track and RSN, and of course, but on Channel 7 you'll have the Everest, you'll have the Caulfield Cup meeting, and then you'll have the Victoria Cup meeting on 7-2. So it's a big night of racing across both codes. Going to be a sensational night. It's great for the sport, I reckon.
Yeah, thanks, Gareth. And you've been tremendous in supporting the event and harness racing in the lead up as well. So hopefully people watching this piece that maybe don't tune into harness racing, if you're going to tune in and enjoy it, I reckon Saturday night will be a good entry level.
And that team will tip you a lot of winners, Murray.
Thanks, mate.
And Kingman will beat Leap to Fame. Leap to Fame is nearly as good as you. He's like the if he was the barber leap to fame, he would be you, the greatest of all time.
A leap to fame.
Well, I tell you what, if Kingman wins, that'll take the air out of the joint on Saturday
Yeah, I
night.
know.
Everyone loves the champ leap to fame. Come on, Larry.
Hey, thank you, Ron.
Thanks,
Good
Stu.
day, mate. The hair
Good to see you.
looks absolutely dead set to perfection, that does. Thanks for your company here on Clippers and Tippers, all thanks to Tyre Power. We'll catch up with you next week for a big show because, of course, we'll be heading into Cox Plate.